All right, dog lovers, get ready, because today we're going deep into obedience training.
Oh, yeah.
We've got some awesome insights from a chat between two expert dog trainers.
Sounds like fun.
It is.
Cool.
They talked about their best techniques and how to handle those tricky situations.
I feel like we could all use some help with that.
Exactly.
Hooray.
Like when your pup decides to eat your shoe instead of the toy you just gave him.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
So let's dive right in and see what these trainers had to say.
Sounds good.
First up, why does obedience training even matter?
Right.
It's more than just having a dog that can do a bunch of tricks.
It definitely is.
Though let's be real, a well-behaved dog is pretty impressive.
For sure.
But these trainers really emphasize the safety aspect.
Yeah.
Like imagine being able to call your dog back if they're running towards danger.
That peace of mind is priceless.
Absolutely.
Like you said, it's like having a superpower.
Right.
No more chasing after your dog when they spot a squirrel across the street.
Exactly.
And it's not just about safety. Obedience training also builds your dog's confidence.
I can see that.
They were saying how dogs thrive on routine and knowing what's expected of them.
That's interesting.
Just like us, they feel more secure when they have clear boundaries and communication.
Makes total sense.
Right.
So, okay, we're sold on the why,
Gotcha.
but how do we actually start?
Right. Where do you even begin?
Especially if you're a new dog owner.
Yeah, it can feel a bit overwhelming.
The trainers were all about starting strong with those core commands.
Like what?
Stay and come.
The classics.
Yeah.
Those are the foundation for everything else.
Exactly.
And they emphasize keeping those early training sessions short, sweet, and focused.
Yeah, no need to overload them with too much information at once.
Exactly.
Plus, it plays into how dogs learn best.
Tell me more about that.
Well, they learn through association and repetition.
So like if they sit, they get a treat.
Yeah.
And over time, they connect the action with the reward.
You got it.
Cool.
And by keeping those sessions short, you're setting your pup up for success and keeping them engaged.
Makes sense.
It's kind of like learning a new language.
Yeah.
You wouldn't try to write a novel in a day, would you?
Definitely not.
Small steps lead to big wins,
I like that.
especially when it comes to dog training.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So true.
So we've got the core commands and short sessions.
Yep.
What about consistency?
That's another big one.
It's so important.
My pup definitely has selective hearing sometimes,
Oh, tell me about it.
especially when squirrels are involved.
The squirrel struggle is real.
It is.
But the trainers were really adamant about using the same words and gestures every time you give a command.
Like a routine.
Exactly.
Helps build that clear association in your dog's mind.
Yeah, think of it as creating your own secret dog language.
That's cool.
I love that idea.
It's like we're forming our own special bond through communication.
And consistency is key for that bond.
Absolutely.
You can't switch things up and expect your dog to keep up.
Right. It's got to be clear and predictable.
Exactly.
So same words, same hand signals every single time.
Got it.
Makes training so much smoother in the long run.
Definitely.
What else did those trainers say about setting ourselves up for success?
They were all about ending on a positive note.
Oh, yeah.
So important for keeping your dog motivated.
I agree.
They said you want your pup to walk away from each session thinking training is fun.
Makes sense.
Right.
They get treats.
Right?
Their human loves them.
Exactly.
It's all about creating those happy associations.
Positive vibes only.
But, okay, let's be real.
Yeah.
What if things don't go exactly as planned?
Oh, I'm sure we've all had those moments.
Like, what if my dog decides stay actually means run around the living room like a wild animal?
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
The trainers had some great tips for handling those unexpected moments.
Good, because I need them.
Me too.
So spill the beans.
Right.
What are some of their troubleshooting gems? Well, they said distractions are like a dog's kryptonite,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
especially when you're trying to train them.
It's like their brains are wired to focus on everything but the command you're trying to teach.
They're curious creatures by nature.
That's for sure.
But the trainers had a good point about starting in a quiet environment.
Like at home.
Yeah, like your living room or backyard, where there are fewer things to distract your pup.
That makes sense.
So you can build a solid foundation for the command.
It's like learning ABCs before you write a novel.
Exactly.
Start simple, then gradually increase the difficulty.
And once your dog is nailing the command in a quiet space,
Right.
you can slowly introduce more distractions.
Like what kind of distraction?
We'll start with things like toys or maybe a family member walking by.
Okay.
Then you can gradually work your way up to more challenging environments.
Like the park,
Exactly.
where there are squirrels and other dogs.
The ultimate test.
It's like a video game. You got to level up.
I love that analogy.
Start with the easy level and work your way up to the boss fight.
And speaking of challenges, the trainers also talked about how every dog has a unique personality.
Oh, yeah.
Some are eager to please,
Golden retrievers.
while others are a bit more independent.
My husky's definitely in that category.
That's totally okay.
It's what makes them special.
Exactly.
But it does mean you might need to adjust your training approach.
They emphasize the importance of patience and positive reinforcement.
Especially for those stubborn pups.
You gotta find what motivates them.
Like what?
Well, besides treats,
Right, because not all dogs are food motivated.
they suggested trying things like toys, praise, or even a belly rub.
So it's about figuring out what makes your dog tick.
Exactly.
What really gets their tail wagging.
And using that as a reward during training?
It's like a puzzle you have to solve.
Kind of.
You have to unlock the secret to what makes your dog happy.
And once you do,
Training becomes a lot more fun.
for both of you.
Now, what about those moments when your dog is just too excited to focus?
Oh yeah, like when they have zoomies.
It's like they drank a whole pot of coffee?
The trainers had a simple but brilliant tip for that.
I'm all ears.
They said to give your dog a quick burst of play or exercise before training.
Oh, that's smart.
It helps burn off some of that excess energy.
So they can actually concentrate on learning.
Exactly.
It's like taking the edge off.
Makes them more receptive to training.
Okay, that's a great tip.
Now let's talk about one of the most important commands.
Um,
It can literally be a lifesaver.
Especially if your dog tends to run off.
Or if they're about to do something dangerous.
The trainers gave some really practical advice on building a rock-solid recall. Okay, tell me more.
Well, they said to start practicing in a controlled environment
Like the backyard.
with your dog on a long leash.
So they can't run too far.
Exactly.
Then you call them in an excited, happy voice.
And when they come running,
You make it a party.
lots of praise, treats, or whatever your dog loves.
So they associate coming when called with positive things.
Exactly.
No scolding, even if they've been up to no good.
Right, because you want them to come to you no matter what.
Even if they just chewed up your favorite shoe.
It's about building trust.
Makes sense.
You don't want your dog to be afraid to come to you.
So come always equals party time.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
Now I'm curious,
Yeah.
what about taking training to the next level?
Like once your dog has mastered the basics.
What else can you teach them? Oh, they were super enthusiastic about that.
Oh, I bet.
Like once your dog knows the basics, it opens up a whole new world of training.
I like the sound of that.
They talked about everything from fun tricks
Ooh, like what?
to more challenging stuff like agility training.
Wow, agility training.
Yeah, those dogs are amazing.
I've seen those competitions on TV.
They're like super athletes.
Zipping through obstacle courses.
Yeah. And it's not just for competition either.
Oh, really?
The trainer said it's great for any dog, especially high energy breeds.
Yeah, because it gives them a mental and physical workout.
Exactly.
So it's like a supercharged play session.
Pretty much.
But what if my dog's more of a couch potato?
Well, they had something for everyone.
Okay, good.
They talked about trick training too.
Oh, I love trick training.
It's a fun way to bond with your dog.
And teach them some cool skills.
Exactly.
Like shake hands or play dead.
Plus, it helps build their confidence.
And keeps their minds sharp.
It's like brain training for dogs.
I love that.
But beyond all the cool skills and tricks,
Yeah.
what really matters is that bond you have with your dog.
It's so true.
Training is a journey you do together.
And it strengthens that connection in such a special way.
You're learning to understand each other
Communicate effectively.
and celebrate those little wins along the way.
And remembering that training should be fun.
Yes, for both of you.
It's not about being perfect.
Or turning your dog into a robot.
It's about enjoying the journey.
Strengthening that bond.
And having fun with your furry best friend.
So to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
we encourage you to embrace the joy of training.
No matter what level you and your dog are at,
Go out there.
have fun.
Be patient.
And remember that even the smallest wins deserve a celebration.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into dog training.
We hope you learned some new things.
Maybe laughed a little.
And most importantly,
Feel inspired to keep exploring the world of training with your pup.
happy training, everyone!